Aloha! Welcome to my kitchen in the beautiful island of Maui. I'm going to show you today how to make an egg-free sandwich based on my blog, I Just Don't Feel Like Eating. I know when lots of us are early in grief especially, that food is the last thing that appeals to us. But when you realize that it's important to be very healthy and that eating is the way that you get there, eating and exercise of course, it's important to eat things that are good for your body, that will really nourish you. And I discovered when Ron was ill the importance of a plant-free diet. And I actually enrolled in a course. It took me 6 months to get through to become a certified vegan chef. And I'm happy to share what I learned in that class with you. I don't eat completely vegan myself. I am vegetarian. So some things are vegan that I'm showing you how to do and some things aren't. In that blog, I mentioned to you an egg-free sandwich, an egg-free salad sandwich, and so I'm going to show you how to put that together today. It's really simple, and lots of the things I already have on hand all the time, and when you go to make something like this, if there are things that you have on hand that you prefer to use, substitute them. In the recipe itself, there are lots of options listed, and you can combine them however you want to. You can find the recipe on my website at 52weeksgrieftransformation.com, and it's under the free tab. There are a couple of recipes there for you, a tuna-free salad and an egg-free salad. So that's what we're going to do today. This picture shows you what's called a mise en place. It's a term that they use in cooking when you take formal cooking classes, and it's a really cool thing to do. What I've done here is measure out all of the ingredients that I'm going to be using in this recipe so that all I have to do is just dump them into the bowl when it's time to put it together. It makes it a lot easier to put things together, and you can see that you've got everything that you need right in order there. So I encourage you to do this when you cook. Of course you don't have to. You can just, chop your celery and then put it in, and then do whatever else you're going to do, measure your mayonnaise or veganese and put it in. But this is just a little professional tip that can help you speed up your time in the kitchen and make it really easy to do. So that's why I have the things all set up like this. Now I'm going to show you how to actually make the egg-free sandwich. And what makes it egg-free, that it doesn't have any eggs in it obviously, we're going to use chickpeas instead. And this is 1 can of chickpeas, or garbanzo beans they're called, or you can cook them fresh from scratch if you'd like to do that, to make the equivalent of 1 can. And we're going to break them up a little bit. So we're going to put them in a bowl, rinse them off really well, and drain them well. And then this is an old-fashioned potato masher, like my mom used to use and I still use. And you just use it to press down on the chickpeas to break them up. You don't want them all the way mushed. You want some texture to them still. And an alternative to using this masher would be a pastry blender. That's this, that like you use to make pie crust with, if you can see that very well there. And with that, you would just put this here just for the second, break them up like this. I think actually that the pastry blender is a little bit faster to use than the potato masher, but either one of them work equally as well. If you really wanted them to, you could put it in the food processor for a minute, but doing that is likely to give you more like hummus than more of a texture with a little bite to it that you would like to have with this. So see, it didn't take very long at all to mush these up. And that's all you have to do to prepare your chickpeas to pretend like they're eggs in this salad. So we'll scrape this off too. Okay. Now that we have that, we just include the rest of the ingredients that are listed on the recipe that's in your on the recipe that you can get off of the website. I Looks pretty nice. I did it up for you so that you can easily see it and read it, and poke holes in it so that you can have a little binder with recipes. Okay, first we'll add the celery to it. This is a 1/4 cup of chopped celery. This goes in first, and then we will add mayonnaise or veganese. If you're vegan, use veganese. It's it tastes really good. There's actually an olive oil version of it that I like best. And then you add green onions according to the list, but as I told you, sometimes I don't have everything in my refrigerator, so I'm substituting today some red onions for the green onions. And we'll put them in. And then we'll put in the key ingredient, and that's black salt. This is Hawaiian lava sea salt, but there's also Indian black salt. There are different kinds of black salt that you can find. You can order them on Amazon if you don't have them in your grocery store. This is what it looks like. It looks just like salt in little tiny pieces. But the black salt has kind of a sulfury taste to it that gives this the egg flavor. This is the key to this whole recipe, is including the black salt. Otherwise, it'll just taste like a nice garbanzo bean salad, which is good. But if you want that egg sort of flavor, you put the black salt in. And then in addition to that, I'm going to add sweet pickles chopped up. That's on the optional list on your recipe. I'm also going to add Dijon mustard because I like it. And that again is optional. And this is nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is a wonderful product to use when you're doing vegan cooking, especially because it has kind of a cheesy flavor, and it's also got all sorts of good nutrition in it, as the name says. So we'll just add that in. And then in the basic recipe, it doesn't include a lot of seasoning to it, but I like seasoning, so I listed on the recipe the things that you can use to season this. And with that, there is paprika, and there is turmeric, and there is onion powder, and garlic powder. And I know we already have onion in it, but there's a difference in the flavor of onion. And I like to use garlic powder when I'm making a sandwich because it's not so strong as fresh raw garlic would be, and since we're not cooking it, you won't have a chance to get that real strong odor out. And see how easy that was to make? All done, all ready to make the sandwich with. So now what we'll do is take 2 slices of bread. I prefer bread that is whole grain. You can use whatever you want to. I grew up on white bread sandwiches, so I know that's good too. And you put it on like you would usually do a sandwich. Really simple. And then you can put whatever else you wanted. I don't have an egg right, or not an egg, tomato right now, but I'd usually put a tomato on it. I have this nice fresh lettuce that one of my neighbors just brought me from his garden that I will include. And you can put slices of avocado, are especially good on it, but put whatever you'd put on your regular sandwich when you make a sandwich. And there we go. It's a lovely eggless or egg-free sandwich. And it's really easy to make with whatever you've got on hand. So if you get hungry, you don't have to run to the store or run someplace to get something to eat. You can just whip this up real easily. So I hope you make it, and I hope you enjoy it. And please send me your comments. I would love to hear about what you do and your pictures too. Thank you.